Well, the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia is a small mountainous country in Eastern Europe. Most people probably struggle to find it on a map, let alone tell you anything about it. Alexander the Great was from there, by the way. According to Hillary Clinton, this tiny nation has destroyed America's democratic tradition.
And they were running, there's all these stories about, guys over in Macedonia who are running these fake news sites. And, I've seen them now, and you sit there and it looks like a, sort of low-level CNN operation. And
quite a feat for a nation with a population smaller than Houston. Is Clinton right? Did sneaky Macedonian hackers lay low the world's mightiest superpower? To find out, we sent famous DC's Catherine Lyons to the Macedonian embassy in D.C. Here's what happened next.
We're standing outside the embassy of the Republic of Macedonia right now. We wanted to get their take on what they thought about being blamed for Hillary's loss in the election. It's a holy day of obligation, so they're not in work. So I guess the answer is no comment for now.
California, this is a story that stretches all the way to Eastern Europe, to a small town called Veles, Macedonia, where BuzzFeed and The Guardian traced around 100 domain names to this small town that are creating fake news. There's a young man by the name of Dimitri, not his real name, that's the name that he gave to us, and he tells us that he's made upwards of $60,000 creating bogus news headlines in a town where the annual income is around $4,800. We went there exclusively. We had a word with him. This is what he told us.
Really, Dimitri says, the fake news game is pretty straightforward.
You see what people like, and you just give them. If they like water, you give water. If they like wine, you give wine. It's really simple what we do.
Fake news has affected Veles. In a country with almost a quarter of its citizens unemployed, and in a town with an average annual income below $5,000, the impulse to deceive was seemingly irresistible. So now, as the money flows, so too does the liquor. This club is cashing in on the success of fake news entrepreneurs, who get paid relatively majestic sums by Macedonian standards by selling advertising on their sites.
What happened in our town is that a lot of money came, and a lot of people quit their jobs so they can put a lot of effort in this, as they saw this as the big idea, as their big chance, the big change in their life.
One venue here even plans to host a club night on the day Google pays out its ad revenue.
It's really a fascinating thing to hear, Craig. And when you look at some of the headlines that Dimitri's created, let me just read a couple to you. Just in, Obama illegally transferred DOJ money to Clinton campaign, exclamation point. Breaking, Obama confirms refusal to leave White House. He will stay in power, exclamation point. All completely phony, obviously, and different from the gentleman I met here in Southern California earlier this week. This guy's still collecting money from Google AdSense revenue, he told us at NBC News. If anybody else out there wants to see more of this, go on over to NBCnews.com. A great job by our colleagues in our digital division.
Hey, really quickly here, Jacob. Money. How much are we talking here? The guy that you talked to earlier this week, another fascinating piece, guy over in Macedonia. I mean, are we talking little money here, or are we talking real money?
This guy says in 6 months he's made $60,000. And when you talk to people in this community like NBC News did, they're saying teenagers are buying BMWs. They're putting money down to buy houses in a town that's essentially the equivalent of our Rust Belt in Macedonia there in Eastern Europe.